People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you're all doing well and safe this morning. I hope Arsenal fans got an extra spring in their step like myself, because we confirmed the signing of Thomas Partey. Now I've spoke about him till I'm blue in the face. You can see all the videos I've made, and whatnot. Let's put Partey to the side and focus on William Saliba. Now, Saliba, £30 million, 19 years of age, signed at 18, 6 foot odd, quick off the ground, graceful with distributing the ball. France, it doesn't matter what position, midfield, centre half in particular. Don't know what they're putting in the water, but they've got players with top class potential. And Arsenal, when we used to have the French league on lock and bring these men in, we've been missing out. Previous Arsenal were scooping up Mbappe, Dembele and all of these guys potentially, but we failed to adapt and we've missed out on these players. So to finally get a Saliba who was showing promise, shout out to his boy Fofana, who's at Leicester, who I would have wanted as well. I was ecstatic. But, and I think as fans, the buzzword is potential, potential, potential. Saliba's got an effing lot of potential. He can be and he's going to be a very good player for club and country. But what we need to not do is not look at the Saliba of tomorrow, potentially captain in France in an ideal world, a sort of leader for Arsenal, one of the best midfielders in the league. That's what he's going to be in the future. You're not going to be that overnight. You get it? We get enticed and aroused by what a man can be in the future. We forget presently what he is and the steps to move to that. Now, Saliba, it peed me off when he stayed on loan. I got it, I removed my emotions and I understood it, but I felt, and like a lot of ex-footballers that shared my opinion on this matter, and you lot as well, based on what we saw collectively in terms of Arsenal's defending, could he do much worse? I always think defenders should be thrown in at the deep end to a degree. There's only so much training you can do. Minutes are currency. That's why I got going back to St Etienne, because he's only made 32 appearances. This season was disrupted by injury and COVID and whatnot. He is inexperienced. I get it. Many people are saying, why doesn't he play? Why doesn't he play? If he comes to Arsenal and he looks like a duck out of water, the same people are going to say he's overrated. He needs to go out on loan. He needs to do this and the other. To hear him go out on loan or talk of going on loan concerned me a bit, purely because to me as a fan, the talk about him changed with Arteta. When I say that, I mean Arteta still retained faith. He still has once spoken of him being a player for the future. But it's more so, when he was given the number 4 shirt, I believe, it sounded like he was going to be more immediately of the plans. Now, you saw Arteta speak about he's had some personal issues. It's not been the best development year. We need to do the best option. We've tried to loan him out. He was linked with a move back to St Etienne. Didn't happen. Linked with German clubs. Didn't happen. Linked with actually going to Fulham. Fulham made some other additions, so maybe they let that one go. Obviously, Rennes signed a centre-half, so their priorities are elsewhere. So he's staying at the club. To talk of him going out alone, and there's nothing wrong with it because he's 19. I think Arteta's looked at him and said, I don't think you're ready right now. Now that concerns me because, that tells me that Arteta, first and foremost, I think the form of Holding played a part, not that Holding doesn't have a future. I like him. I think the form of Holding, playing 3 at the back means Tierney can play. He believes in David Luiz, of course. Gabriel has adapted fast. That's 4 centre-halves already. You need 5. Maybe Saliba could have been the 5th. And he probably conceded that if something happens, I gave Mustafi chances next season and last season and he took it. We've got Marie. So that's 6 centre-halves. So does he believe in the 3 to 4 I said first, and then said if anything happens, I've got depth. Saliba game time might be hard to come by if it's not the Europa League in the Cup and whatnot. Go out on loan, to which is fine. He's, people got to look at it. It's frustrating. We've signed this man. He went back to St Etienne, and there's another talk of a loan. I'm like you lot. I'm dying to see man in action. I want to see him play. I want to see him develop. But I get it. If you don't believe that right now he's of the standard or can help, that's fine. He's 19. He'll return at 20. We spent 30 million on him. Let's get it right. Because if he comes in, he's getting destroyed. He's low on confidence. He's pulled out of the team. What are fans going to say? Like I said, there's no hiding place. There is a lot of hype around him, so we need to protect him. But at the same time, I want him exposed. I do. On one hand, I believe minutes are currency. You're not playing. You can only develop so much. And he's missed a lot of football, obviously, like a lot of French footballers. No, he's not French, but even Cavani, who signed for United, he ain't played for like 7 months because he was stopped playing before the COVID business. So we need to remember he is a bit rusty. He is going to be a bit slow to the pace of the game. He did play against MK Dons and he is fit, as he said, but he's played no part. Again, minutes are currency and there's no substitute for playing games. Like I said, you watched him at St Etienne, he had some good games, he had some dodgy moments. You look at the Mets game, you look at the game he conceded the penalty, I think it was against Bordeaux. There was definitely a game in the French league, rather than playing on, he's standing up there with his hand up flat-footed and the other team scored. There is a lot of naiveties in his game. And whether he, come back next year, even if he went out on loan this year, he would still have that. He's a centre-half. You get better and age is fine wine, Look at Deluded. When Deluded is better than him, of course, Deluded's a top centre-half, Deluded is going to be better. I don't think Deluded's in his prime. But look how he struggled in Italian football and struggled at Juventus first. You need to be... And it's a tough one. And to be fair with you, it's not about how fast or how strong or how firm you are in a tackle. It's about the brain and the street smartness. Obviously, Saliba is going to be naive in many incidences because he's still a young man. So we need to take it easy. He hasn't gone out on loan, so at least for the next 2 months he's part of this team. How much football he's going to play, I don't know. But like I said, while I believe minutes are currency and there's no substitute for playing, you can learn a lot. Playing under Arteta at close quarters at London Coley, training. Obviously, the bulk of his games will probably be under 23s. He'll probably... What he needs to do is work on getting in the matchday squad on the bench and whatnot and then pushing. All he needs to do is when your chance comes, seize it. Keep developing, keep working with it. Obviously, everything in mind, we discount it. But when your chance comes, seize it. Saka seized his. Eddie, to a degree, seized his. Gabriel has seized his. Holding. He didn't play last game and it's still a long way to go. But he seized his opportunity. Opportunities are there. So there is something to say for Saliba to get in, train, develop, and then take it from there, really. There is no rush. And I say this, you lot know me, I love youth football. I was talking about Saliba before he signed him. No one is more excited to see that man, that 6'4" man, 19-year-old play for Arsenal than me. But we need to get it right, He wanted, Raul Sanllehi perfectly said, and he might be exaggerating, that could be a centre-half for the decade, Well, let's get it right, sort of thing. There's no rush, There's a rush in that, I want to see him. I've had enough of a lot of our centre-halves, regardless of this season. I would rather give him the opportunities. But I trust Arteta, and he ain't gone out on loan. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Maybe it will halt his development. Who knows? I think it's, like I said, listen, I'm behind him getting out on loan, but I wanted him to stay at the club. So I think this is beneficial to me. I think he can stay at close quarters under Arteta, develop, and like I said, when your chance comes, seize it. Because, the cup competitions, you could imagine, I assume he's going to be playing in the Europa League. When the FA Cup comes about, if he's still at the club, because that comes around in January, I believe, I'd imagine he's going to play a part of that. Obviously, the Carling Cup, we've got a tough game against Man City. If he trains well, can he be part of that? I want to see him, sort of thing, and we've got David Luiz here who can kind of hold his hand. To be fair, going to St Etienne or back to St Etienne would have been my first choice, if not a Premier League loan, because he's their son, of course. He knows the club, he knows everything. It's all about creating an environment, the best place for him to develop. And I think that's actually at Arsenal, whether he's playing or not. I think he can learn a lot at close quarters. I think Arteta can keep a close eye on him and see what he's developing and not, because I don't think Arteta fancies him right now. I'm not in that he doesn't believe in his ability. I just don't think he sees him as an option to start in the Premier League. And, Arteta might be wrong, who knows. But few people could argue he isn't right, because as far as I'm concerned, I can talk until I'm blue in the face and you lot can listen and do the same. But neither of us listening out there are watching him day in, day out at training, Because if he got thrown in against Man City and he played well, we'd all be gassing it and saying, yo, where's he been? Wagwan? Where's he been? And I want that to be the case. But at the same time, if he looks like a duck out of water, he's conceding fouls, he's getting sent off, he's getting destroyed, people are going to say, yo, he's overrated. Why didn't he go out on loan? I see why he's not playing, blah, blah, blah. And I used to say that with Mavropanos. I used to say, why aren't Mavropanos and even Holding to a degree playing more? But then I remember when Mavropanos finally got a chance against Watford, he kind of struggled. Now, to be fair to Mav, he was good against United, but I'm just saying, my point is just, you don't always see things. I can understand, sometimes on reflection, I can understand based on the performance why some managers might be reluctant to throw chances to certain players. So it'll be interesting to see what we do with Saliba, because I don't know if he was counted on this season, but he's got big potential. He's got to remember his potential got him here. I hope he gets through any personal issues he is getting through. And I asked one thing that's never put me in doubt is Arsenal have his best choice at heart, because even when he's been injured, he's come back to Arsenal to train. He's been given the 4 shirt. He's trained with the team. So on one hand, they thought he was going to be part of it this season. On another hand, I don't know if failing to move on players has harmed him. I don't know if Arteta's ran the rule over him in training and said he's not there. I don't know if there's personal issues away from football that we deem, let's move him on and for a season and let him get back to it. I don't know, but I think he'll have a part to play this season. At least initially, he's going to have to be patient. He's going to have to wait. You know, at times he might think it's not coming. But when your opportunity comes, grab it with both hands, seize it. Make sure Arteta, when he goes to sleep, when he's talking to his wife late at night, he never forgets William Saliba. And that's what all players need to do in this team. Go and make it difficult for Arteta. I genuinely think Saka makes Arteta stay up at night. He's genuinely upset and genuinely feels sick to leave him out, or he's genuinely puzzled as to how he fits all of these players in. That's what everybody needs to do, and the whole squad is going to be needed. We've got Europa, we've got the Prem, we've got a tough round of fixtures, or a tough season, and you know there's going to be loss of form, there's going to be a lot. Everyone's going to need to stand up to be counted. But in relation to Saliba, I think he'll prove his worth. But get in the comments and tell me your opinions, people. Please like, comment and subscribe. It's always a pleasure chatting to you lot. But for now, DG, I'm out.